Everyone.
Hi.
Look at this beauty. We look like twins. It was funny because today people were like, I thought that was you in the picture on Facebook and Instagram. And I was like, no. That's my
I know. And then
twin.
our picture that you put up, it was like we had the same pose. I was like, oh my gosh.
We went to the same posing school, didn't we? Right?
Yes, exactly.
I love it. Shout out to Swap Fuel. You guys are the best. And Quest Nutrition. All right. So, Melissa, I feel like Melissa gets parting gifts. She gets to go with Swap Fuel and Quest today. I'm charged up. I feel amazing. I had such a great day today. I went for a workout on the beach. I got outside and it just was so invigorating and amazing to put your feet in the water and the sand and just run and squat. And I didn't do too many push-ups because my boxing coach kicked my butt yesterday. I can barely move my arms. But I just had such an amazing day and I was out there just recharging and just regenerating and rejuvenating my body and my mind and my spirit and my soul. I feel amazing. So I'm excited for this show today.
Oh, me too.
I know. I've been waiting. We've been talking about this for a while.
Right.
So it's been a little too long. So we're finally here and we're going to have fun today. Lee's getting set up behind the scenes. We're on the Power of Voices and the TLC Unleashed network. And I don't want to give all our secrets away before we go live. So, but we're going to have fun and we have a lot in common.
We have so much in common. You've got to tune in. It's amazing.
I was kind of like, I was reading your bio and things like that, and I went, that's it. And I'm like, and she looks like me. I was like, Mom, if my mom was alive, I'd be like, is there anything you want to tell me?
You have blue eyes. That's our
yes, okay.
Well, and you're buffer than me. Look at that. Come on, people.
Well, I try. I've been getting ready. Actually, Dan Kennedy's doing a photo shoot for me next month. We've been talking about for a while. And I'm going to be doing some other photo shoots and stuff like that. And it's been fun. Just keeping
getting ready for Palm Springs.
On track, yeah. And, oh my gosh, Celebrity Weekend this weekend. There's a wedding that we're going to be part of. Not in it or anything like that, so, and I'm not getting married now. This weekend in Palm Springs, so what an amazing time it's going to be. And then July 4th in Vegas, so I've got some fun trips planned ahead. I'm excited.
Exciting.
I know.
Sounds like can't wait to hear about it.
You got to live life, right? You know, it's all about living life. And we're about to go live, speaking of living life. So thanks for tuning in today, you guys. Again, I'm super excited, and shout out to all of you who listen to my show every week on Wednesdays. So this is always a special day for me. I always get excited for it, and especially when we have phenomenal guests like Melissa.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, welcome to the TLC Unleashed show, Hollywood Vibes, Sports and Life with your host, Traci Lynn. This show is brought to you by Quest Nutrition. Cheap, clean, and make healthy eating fun with Quest Nutrition products.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hollywood Vibes, Sports and Life with your host, Traci Lynn. We are live in the studio today, and we are twinning. No, this is not my sister, and is not my twin. But wow, it feels really awkward, like really weird in a good sense, that I'm sitting beside my future twin.
Absolutely.
So, right? Melissa Ann Pollack, welcome to the show today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, I've been waiting. We talked about this for way too long, so it's finally happened. And we were talking behind the scenes in the green room, and we found out a lot about ourselves. That's what I meant by awkward. Because the weird thing is that we share quite a few of the same, not only the same features, we look a lot alike.
Right.
But
blue eyes, though, brown.
Yeah, well, we have to have something different,
Buffer
right?
than me, for sure.
Thank you. And so the same birthday.
Same birthday? Oh my gosh, Leos.
Not even just Leos, but the same birthday.
Yeah,
so,
the same day.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
What a coincidence.
I thought maybe we were like long lost sisters or something, but I'll have to find out my family history a little more in detail. Melissa, you are an inspiration. You've done so much. You were a beautiful model. You were a beautiful mom, and you were also an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. And your story is phenomenal. I only bring on phenomenal people onto my show, as you guys know. I love the stories. I love the inspiration and the motivation. And I want to talk a little bit about what life was growing up for you. And, you know, you had some adversity and you had some things that you overcame, and that brought you to this beautiful person that you are today.
So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you just have such a great spirit about you. I already knew that. And thank you to Dan Kennedy for connecting us together. You know,
yes, thank you, Dan.
Always appreciate you. And Dan's behind the camera, is always back there. So, yep, there he is. So let's talk a little bit about how it began. And I love when people call me in the middle of my show. Hi, guys. I'll call you back. So let's talk a little bit about what life was like growing up for you.
Yes, absolutely. I am originally from Charleston, West Virginia.
Okay.
Small city, not the big city of LA like we are in right now.
Yeah.
Just, you know, from a hardworking family, you know, great background, great upbringing, great parents. And then, you know, I was just normal little girl. And then when I was 12, I got scoliosis, you know, a very severe case of scoliosis, like the S curve.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's stop for a little bit, just take a quick pause. I want to let everybody know that's also something that we both have in common. And I was actually diagnosed at the age of 12 as well.
Oh, wow.
From a
really?
bronchial infection that they were doing an x-ray from. So let's explain a little bit to people that don't know what scoliosis is so they have a better understanding of it.
Yes, it's a curvature of the spine, and you know you're supposed to be in alignment, straight, and there's a curve. You can have a C curve, S curve. I had an S curve, which is 2, and you know they would measure it, and then at first I would like have a built-up shoe. They would put like this insertion in my shoe, you know, to try to correct that. Well, it kept getting worse. It was getting worse. So then I had to go to the dreaded Milwaukee Brace, which was this big obtrusive thing that, you know, the chin with the plastic up on your chin and then back in your head, like poked in the back of my neck. And I had to wear that 24 hours, like a day.
How long did you wear that for?
For about 3 years. About 3 years. Wow. And he allowed me to take it off. I tried out for cheerleader.
Yeah,
I was a little shyer in middle school, you know, and due to this, you know, I mean, due to the diagnosis of that and everything, and just there was only 2 of us in school that had that, and she actually, the other girl that I knew, she had to have the surgery, but you know, I just basically did the brace, but it was a really hard time. It was a really hard time. It's you know, you're going through the whole adolescent thing, development stage. You know,
how did kids treat you in school when you were wearing the brace and, you know, walking around just trying to be a young little girl just growing up into her body? And how were kids to you?
You know, actually, it was, I didn't have a really bad experience because of my attitude, keeping positive, and, you know, I never really verbalized to my mom or anybody, you know, I had trouble. I had friends, I had everything. And like I said, I tried out for cheerleader. I wasn't a cheerleader, so that gave me an opportunity to take it off, right, for a temporary. He's like, you can do it. You know, you can do cheerleading and take it off for like an hour. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do cheerleading, you know. And then
signing up for everything.
Thank God I made it, right?
Yeah.
Thank God I made it. So I made it, and then sometimes I would leave it off a little longer, you know, when I had the cheerleading practice and we'd hang out. But I did have to wear it some with the cheerleading. But I remember vividly one particular story. I was on a football field, and it was like, I think I had it on, and there was like ropes, these wire ropes around, and I was trying to like go across, and I couldn't bring my head down because I had the brace on. I fell like in front of the whole school. Oh. Yeah, I know. So, you know, things like that. I mean, you know, certain things like that, like, sticks out in my head. And I'm like, and nobody made fun of me, but it was like, you know, it was just devastating to a little teenager, you know, young teenager in middle school.
Of course. I can only imagine. And, you know, I like to just kind of point out the fact where you said, you know, your attitude was a positive attitude, and that's why you were not teased maybe as some other kids would have been, or, you know, it could have been in a different time as well in life. You know, and I think that anytime we have a positive attitude and we don't focus on the negative of a situation rather than the positive, you know, people don't really, because we don't create and draw this attention to it that we don't the extra attention we don't need or want.
Right.
It's not saying that there's not going to be bullies out there. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that, they created a positive opportunity for you so that people were not, really like looking at you and going, she's different or, a lot different than I am.
Right. I mean, and everyone knew I was different, but I still, like I said, I had friends. I even had a little boyfriend when I was in ninth grade. I mean, so I was like, it's not like it was totally devastating, but I'm telling you, it's all a mental thing. Everything in life is mental. You've got to keep it right. And when you find yourself like going down that bad path, I could have said, I'm in middle school, and feel sorry for me, I've got to wear a brace. Well, I didn't do that. I just, I took a challenge. I tried out for cheerleader. I wanted to make that so I could take it off, first of all. And my friends never made me feel really any different. I had great friends around me.
Nice.
My little West Virginia people, they're awesome people. I miss them. Hello, everybody.
I know, we were talking about that because we're both from other parts of the world and being from Canada, and you're familiar with Canadians as well, and it's different when you move into a bigger city and you're surrounded by different people, and it's a different culture, and maybe close to home. A lot of people go, oh, it's only 2.5 hours away, but it's a different animal, so I'm glad to hear that you grew up with this positive attitude, because that's really something that I believe is kind of inside us, and and we have to learn this behavior over time. And I've been through enough adversity to understand having that negative mindset or that negative attitude where it's poor me, or why does this always happen to me. And we have to be so mindful of our words and be in control of our mind and our thoughts, because when we're thinking these things, they happen. And I mean, our words.
And when you verbalize and put it out there. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I was just reading yesterday about all this. So I was like, yes, you cannot verbalize something because it's going to happen.
Yeah. So,
Negative.
And how did you, do you feel like you were just raised like that? Was that in the family environment that instilled these values and this mindset in you, that you thought, hey, you know what, this is okay, I'm going to be okay no matter what, I'm getting in there, I'm trying out for the cheerleader position, I'm going to get myself a little boyfriend, I'm going to have some fun, life is good, and I'm going to be okay, and I'm okay, because that self-confidence is very rare, especially at a young, tender age of 12 years old.
Right. I mean, I had a conversation with my mom not too long ago, and she's like, we were talking about it, and I was like, I had a lot of insecurities, and see, she really never really knew all the insecurities I had because I had a mask of strength. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I knew I had to do that to get through it, and I didn't want her to feel bad, and because she was doing everything she could to help me, and they were totally supportive.
Meaning your parents? Both
yes,
parents?
my parents.
Okay.
Yes, they were very supportive, and I did everything I could to make it better, so I didn't have to have that major surgery where you're in a body cast for 6 months.
Rods in your spine. They wanted to do that to me, and I was so active. I was running around doing so many other things, and for me, I had a lot of imbalances at a early age because I have the S curve as well, and so for me, I was just like, I'm going to be an athlete. I don't care. I'm playing soccer, I'm playing baseball, track and field. I'm like swimming, running, doing whatever I can. But because of my imbalances and things like that, being a lot offset and not having the shoes or anything, to balance me out, I pretty much broke everything on my right side of my body. And people are like, how is that possible? But when you're, leaning to one side and you're imbalanced so much that it creates this, improper body posture and structure so that you can, get a lot of injuries. So that's pretty much how I broke everything. So everything on the side has screws and rods and pins and everything in it. So
it's so familiar. Same. You just didn't wear the brace, but
yes.
But absolutely, as far as the athletic thing, that's why I did cheerleading.
Yeah.
I was a softball player. I mean, I was hitting home runs. I mean, I'm like athletic as well. So it's like that, and I took up tennis like as an adult. I mean, just everything sort of comes, natural like that. And even though, and I think what it is just my drive in my head from back with everything I went through in middle school. It's like that gave me the discipline, the self-discipline
Nice.
to always be able to have a goal and make it happen.
Absolutely, and I love you saying the word self-discipline. Everybody that knows me, discipline is my word. I mean, I live it, breathe it, and I love the word for every meaning of the sense, is that practicing discipline in all areas of your life, not just in your fitness, not just in your relationships, not in your health, in the way you do a job, in the way you present yourself, in your friendships, everything you do, apply discipline. And people don't understand what a strong word that is, because I learned at a very young age, to practice discipline because I wanted to be a pro athlete. I wanted to be, the best leader, the best mom, the best businesswoman, the best professional that I could possibly be at everything. And being so competitive, being a leader and being a Leo.
And being a Leo.
Is, that's a lot of pressure being a Leo.
That's right.
It is, because we are so driven. And
we're so driven, yes.
It's just like, people are like, well,
they don't get us.
No.
I mean, a lot of people don't get the whole Leo drive thing. I mean.
And the personality, too, is, I can't really explain it. I always tell people, I want people to look up the definition of a Leo woman, but then I don't, because in there it says the center of attention and has to be, this and that. And I'm actually not. I'm very extroverted, and I'm also very introverted. I have both sides of me, which is not a huge Leo character trait. But, I think because, of some things that I have been through, it has created me to be a little more introverted at times, to protect
me as
myself.
well. Like,
yes.
With certain areas.
So
definitely.
when I explained to people, I was like, no, we're Leos are, not as crazy as you guys think we are. We're crazy fun, and we're crazy exciting.
I know.
But it's a lot of pressure. So if you were to give some advice to young women growing up, and going back to the time where you were growing up and you had that adversity and those challenges and those obstacles, what would you tell young adolescent girls that are really just struggling to find themselves and just be okay with them, whether it's a disability, whether it's a physical attribute or something that they're insecure, not confident about?
Right. I just think, first of all, I'm sure they have loving, supporting family or friends. I think who you surround yourself with is very, very important.
Yes.
Because if you're around negative people, or people that say, oh, you're this, or you're sick, or you're disabled, or what, it's all about their environment. If you just look around at some of the happiest people have disabilities, worse than my case, or yours, of scoliosis. It goes way beyond that. And I think just surround yourself, know that, you can have goals. Everyone can have goals and achieve those goals and strive for those. That's what keeps us motivated and reinventing ourselves. They can do that too. Yeah. Everyone can.
Absolutely. And that goes for boys and young men as well too, because and there are chances that we don't all have the greatest upbringing or best family support, so in that case rally around. One thing that sticks out in my mind, growing up, I had a very interesting childhood, as I like to say it, to make it professionally polished.
Okay.
For me, I look back at it and I go, I had a lot of great friends around me, and I also had a lot of great friends' families that rallied together. I remember living with my best friend, Vanessa, her family, the Ferranos, and I spent a lot of time there. And you know what? They just really helped to raise and support me when I needed it the most, and to help me with that confidence. And always, I was a big dreamer, always, since I was a little girl.
Right, me too. I was singing in the jump ropes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like curling irons and on the beds, and my mom's like, whose child is this?
Oh, yeah. The performer.
You know what I mean?
I'm like, what? I can't even sing. But I was like performing and doing the dancing. And
the modeling for me and the beauty pageant stuff. She's like, oh my gosh, who is this child?
I love it. My sister used to always laugh because I'd be like, I want to be a dancer. And she's like, what kind of dancer do you want to be? I was like, don't worry, I'm okay. But the thing is that when you're this ambitious, creative little vessel, as I called myself, and growing up, and people wanted to kind of like, sort of, all that shine because they didn't really know how to handle someone like that. And so there are these type of people in life where they shine so much and so bright that people don't really know how to handle it. And I still am experiencing this as I'm getting more mature in age.
Yes, me too.
I know you can relate. How do you handle that? Because, you know, that's a tough role to play because, you know, as being these overachievers and these bright lights, you know, as people, it's really hard to, you know, fit in and embrace your uniqueness. And I have finally gotten to that stage in my life in the last couple years, and it's a beautiful thing. How did you embrace that uniqueness?
Well, just like you, a few years ago probably, I've totally embraced it. I think the bottom line is, I've always been me. And I have this sort of tagline, be bold, be beautiful, be you.
Yes.
And it's like, I think when people, you know, try to dull my brightness, you know, or dull my sparkle, whatever you want to say, it's like, you know, it doesn't keep me down. It's not going to keep me down. It's like, you either love me for who I am, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, that's fine if you don't want to be part of my life. That's the way I am. Because I need to be me. I have to be me. And that's what my whole life, I mean, people just know, they've seen me just rise, you know, from a girl with a back brace in middle school that was just, you know, a little cheerleader. Then, you know, in high school, I was selected to be on the team board. Well, that brace helped me with my modeling and with like keeping my posture up, right?
Yep.
So I was selected for that, and it's just like my career kept going up and up and up, and it's like, man, this girl, you know, and it's the whole achiever thing and the dream thing. And you know what? I've stayed humble. I've stayed myself. Yeah. I'm still the West Virginia girl that everybody used to know. Yeah. I just live in the big lights now. That's just the only difference. And that's the way I want to be. I don't want to change. I want to be me and people to accept that. And that's what I say to everyone else. Just be yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And you went through the stages, so modeling. Let's talk about your modeling career.
Yes, well, it started when I was in high school. Yes. I was selected. That's back home. That's what everyone, you know, they had a teen board. So I was on the teen board, and you know, after just going through all the brace stuff and, you know, and I was like still a little insecure. I was starting to develop and looking even prettier. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe I should do this. Yeah. And then, so I tried out, made that, and, you know, started doing shows, and just throughout my life I was doing commercials and runway, you know, fashion runway shows for, you know, for lots of different companies all on the East Coast, like Tri-State, and that's when my pageant career took off as well. So I actually, the first pageant I enrolled was, I was like 18. I was this called Miss Sturmel Regatta, and it had a $4,000 scholarship to go to nursing school, which we can talk about that later. I'm a nurse. That's my background. That's my education is a nurse, an RN.
Nice.
So
I love it. And helpers, always healing helpers as well. I love that. So tell me some of the things that you've had to give up in life to be successful.
What have I had to give up? Well, I think the hardest part is trying to balance, you know, family life. I've got 3 fantastic, wonderful, I know everybody says it, great children. I've got 3 teens. But, you know, they've been through a lot, and they've turned out they are, you know, not straight A's, but I mean, they're all honors, and they're good kids, you know. They're not out, like, on the streets. I mean, they're just great kids. I got my oldest going to college. You know, I think just, you know, bringing them, I brought them across country about 10 years ago after a divorce. Yep. So just the upbringing with that, and you know, I made it as easy as possible on them, but you know, it was still a challenge for them to go from small town Charleston, West Virginia, uprooting, going all these miles away, you know, over to California. But you know, the good thing is their father moved as well and is living here. So yeah, it all worked out. But I think my children and trying to keep that balance because I love them so much. and with my family as well, trying to keep that balance and still doing what I'm passionate to do,
Of course.
and letting me be me.
I love that. And that's the famous last words of Leo, letting me be me.
Letting me be me, please. Just let me be me.
So there's a lot of stuff. So there's the modeling, the career, and then we're also a registered nurse as well. And we also have, as a publisher, and we're going to talk about that as well, because I would love for you to publish my book that will be coming out by the end of this year.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, and I'm saying it on air every time because December 12th, 2018, I would like to have my first book published. So I will be an author by the end of the year. Mark my words, guys. So
that sounds
yes,
great.
that's something. So how did you get into the publishing?
Well, it actually, as we were talking before, it originated, it's Renaissance Publishing 10 years ago out of Canada.
Yeah.
With my partner in life, Rudy, and he started in Canada, in Toronto. But it was revamped and revived here in Laguna Beach.
Okay.
So we did a pre-launch. We're going to have a big launch party. We've actually, we have self-help books. We have...
Great.
I haven't published it. We're on hold for publishing it because they're not ready to, but just actually went through a whole series of getting a book ready about a girl that was a former Miss Teen Orange County.
Okay.
And she dealt with bullying and was contemplating suicide and all this. So such a compelling story. We don't necessarily, this is a passion for us, so it's not that we have to take everything, and I won't just take everything. It has to be something that, I feel is going to, benefit others and just has a great message, So, but, I love biographies. I love learning how people tick and all that. That's sort of my thing. Not just magazines, which I do like magazines because of fashion and all that. But I just thought it was neat. It was like, you know what? Why can't I be the publisher of this company? Why not? Let's revamp it. I'm the face. I'm the publisher. It's going fantastic. And I have a platform. Brains, beauty, and balance, that we can have it all as women. You can be smart, you can be beautiful, you can do girly things, and then you can be that businesswoman and be respected for all those.
Nice. And how do you find balance in all of that? Because that's such a hard thing to, it's like every single day, keeping healthy, keeping active, keeping your relationships together, being a mom, being, working in a business and all these things. How do you find that? Do you keep that together?
For me personally, I pray about it every day. That's my thing.
Okay.
And like I said, I try to put the positivity out there and make sure that everyone's taken care of. That's why I always say I'm like I have my arms going every way. I've got animals. I've got my little Coco Maltese. I've got my cat. I've got my 3 teens and my family. Everybody wanting me. Yeah. And then the career and trying to maintain it and keep rising to the next level. Yeah. But I'm just doing the best I can.
And she's still smiling. Okay.
And I'm still smiling.
And that is the main thing, too, because a lot of us, we lose ourselves. And how do you not lose yourself? Because that is a lot of stuff to balance, and there's some days where people are like, how do you do everything you do? And you're everywhere. I see you everywhere. And I go, I don't really know, to be honest with you.
Me either.
My honest answer to tell people.
I do it.
But I really think out of everything and anything is creating that balance, but creating that space like we talked about earlier. Facebook Live and in the show didn't get to hear it because I was saying to Instagram Live, but being able to have the ability and create those choices for myself, healthy choices, and not again about just the physicality of how we look, but being able to get outside today. I knew that I needed something more than just being in the gym and having a workout. So I carved out time for myself because it was important to me, and I got myself up and out of the house and after doing some work, and I said, you know what? I'm heading to the beach, and I actually dislike running, believe it or not. I don't like running. I think because I played soccer my whole life, I ran so much, but I dislike running. And plus, it's also hard on your back, too, especially when you have back problems. So I was like, I'm going to go run on the beach, and I'm going to put my feet in the sand, but I'm going to put my feet in the water, and I'm going to be close to the earth. And I'm going to go pray, I'm going to meditate, and I'm just going to release everything that is on me. And anything toxic that's on me, and prayer, and just saying all these, mantras and affirmations. And, I am healthy, I am whole, I'm alive, and being grateful, and living in gratitude, and being blessed. And it's just
gratitude.
Amazing.
Isn't that a great word?
Right?
And the meaning of gratitude.
Yeah, and if I didn't have that, the way I felt before I got there, compared to the way I felt when I left, I cannot even tell you. I mean, I am just, everything is lifted from me, and I just feel cleansed, and I just feel completely rejuvenated. And, we were talking last week with some amazing women, Aja Saffold and Nefereti Plessy, and we were talking about, taking that time out for us and self-care. And everybody should be doing it. Not only just women, but men as well. You guys, we need that, and to create that space for ourselves so that we can become whole again. And so what are your rituals that you do? Besides prayer. To look like this, you have to be doing something.
I know,
right.
and believe me, it's getting a little bit harder because I'm 50
Getting
now.
more mature.
So it's
good
like,
for you. You look amazing.
But thank you. But just what? I try to eat right. I try, I pray, eat right, work out. I could do better with the working out, but so I can look like you.
Thank you.
But I'm doing the best I can at this time in my life. It's just, like I said, I think mentally, I've got to keep myself mentally where I need to be to achieve what I need to achieve. And as long as everyone's happy with me, I'm good if they don't, and I make sure there's a lot of open communication. Please tell me, if you don't think I'm here, I'm not here enough for you, or whatever that is, But I have to take care of myself, too. And that's what I told them. I don't expect any of my kids and my family to be like me. I know I'm different. I know I'm unique and different, and I want them to be them, and for them to shine in their own way. Whether it's my daughter likes fashion and photography, one's a makeup artist, or she's doing this at 14, or whatever that is. You know what I mean? Just they know that mom's never going to be Betty Crocker. They know that, and they're okay with that.
The acceptance.
Now my mom's a wonderful cook, and she lives beside me, so she helps me out when I'm gone. So that's how I balance it out. My mom will kick it in when I have to be gone for a day or 2 weeks. So so that's why I say I cut my schedule down. I pack everything in a couple of days, where I go to San Diego, LA, and Orange County, and that's sort of how I balance it, and that's how I work it.
And what do you do, and how do you handle obstacles and adversity that come at you? So say something comes at you that you're not expecting and disrupts everything that you're doing or your routine. How do you handle that?
Well, at first, sometimes like any human, you might like take it on and listen to it and think, am I going to go down this negative path? Or I'm going to keep on my strive and keep on my goal and keep going up. And so I just, like I said, I take it in and I deal with it. I deal with whatever it is, and then I get right back on path.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. You must have an amazing family as well.
Yes, I do. That's where I said I have
3 boys or.
Oh no, 2 girls and 1 boy.
Oh, 2 girls.
2
and
girls.
1 boy. Okay.
Oh yeah, the hormones are in the house for sure.
Oh, how old?
I know, 18.
Okay.
My 18-year-old going to college. 14, my youngest girl, and my boy. He's easy in the middle. Just in personality, but yeah, I'm very close. I'm very close to all of them.
That's
and good. They're all unique and different.
As we all are. So let's talk about some of your goals. So what are some of your goals for the next 5 years that you've been thinking about?
Okay, well, I would say, of course, getting this publishing company as far as my imprint, my celebrity imprint. It's brand new, and I'm really excited about it. a unique niche. And, you know, I don't know if, just to give everybody a little bit about publishing, you can self-publish your book. There's boutique publishing, that's what I am, and then there's the big house, like the Random House, the Penguins, and all that. Well, you can submit your stuff to Penguin, Random House, whoever. It may take a year or a year and a half before you hear anything back. You know what I mean? I mean, so, and if you're one of the lucky ones to get that, I'm like always like, yeah, do that, you know, do that. But the problem with that is at the end you don't get as many. If you truly have a great product, they take 80%, you only get maybe 20, or it might be 90-10 split. For me, it's the opposite. So it's a boutique services. We do what you want. You can be, you know, just an ebook all the way to a book trailer, you know, like a book trailer, and possibly, you know, go to the next level with producers for a TV show. Like, you know, one of our authors got, just with one chapter release, got a 12-episode series on Oprah. In Canada.
That's what I want. That's what I'm going to get. I'm putting that out there right now.
But that, and also living in wine country, I'm going to be having my own label as far as wine. I've got all that in my head and what I want to do.
I read somewhere, didn't you say something about having your own vineyard? Or
yes, vineyard and my own, my own bottle, my own line, my own.
Nice. So, I like that.
Something for women, I will say that. Woo-hoo. That's what, girls like us.
Yes, I like it. Pink champagne.
That's right. Rosé all day.
And my new BFF.
That's right. Yeah, call me. I'll be here.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I have a question to do with publishing and writing and stuff like that. I'm not sure if this is up your alley, but what it is my question is always between a ghostwriter or writing your own book, because I've had a lot of people tell me you should write your own book, and then I, from experience, have known that writing your own book is not as easy as it sounds, because that requires time. And if you don't have a lot of time, it's very difficult to do. So does it discredit you as a writer if somebody writes your book for you as a ghostwriter? How does that work?
Well, I mean, if you have written the book yourself, or, you know, we even encourage people, like, if they can't write, to actually, you know, tape yourself. Like for example, I mean, I'm just giving you a little example. My dad has all these stories, and we're like, tape all these stories, and we'll put a book together. You know what I mean? It's like, because he has some great, fantastic stories. So no, the best way would be, you're going to work with a ghostwriter if you need that.